Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, of course. Hello, girls. So sorry for the loss today. My name is Sophia from esports.gg. My first question goes to Mimi. We know how much this series meant to you, but the result was not what you wished for. With your experience and after a complicated year for you overall, how do you evaluate this team performance and resilience?
Well, I think that obviously we got what is this, a sixth place or something? Well, we're obviously not satisfied with it. It obviously hurts a lot, but both games, both today and yesterday, were super close. It could have gone both ways, and I mean, there is definitely just momentum shift that happened for them, and I think it was really hard to break it. Like, I'm replaying so many scenarios that we could have done differently, or I should have called differently. But I mean, there's nothing we can do right now to change that. It really hurts. It really sucks. But as I said in the beginning of the press conference, we felt really grateful to be here, and we've been having a hard year. It's been a lot of battles all year long, a lot of hard work. I'm still proud of what we managed to do with with everything, despite the results not being there. And can only be up from now on.
Thank you. May I have a follow-up?
Go ahead.
Thank you. My next question goes to Akira. I know this is a hard time to talk, but I wish you talk a little bit about your first experience internationally. How was it for you?
It was a great experience. I didn't play that good, I think, still. And I mean, I have a wrist injury since the start of Split 2, and it was like didn't have time to recover. And I mean, it was good. I don't know.
Thank you, and good luck for the next season.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Miguel.
Thank you so much. Miguel Soriano for Sons of KS in Latin America. And first of all, I'd like to say you guys have given us one of the greatest match we've ever seen in the Game Changers competition. I know the result isn't the one you expected, but you guys are a great, great, great team. My question would be for Coach Drew. We've seen you last year with Sentinels, with Kaplan. One thing it could be like one of the biggest year. You guys lifted the trophy on the Masters, and now in this year that you changed directions, you went for a head coach position in the Game Changers environment. How would you say this year has contributed to make you a better coach? How's this experience from this 2025 has contributed to your development as a head coach?
I mean, I could talk forever about this. Honestly, like it's been a big year. There's been a lot learned. I mean, honestly, like your coach is only really as good as your players, right? And I just want to take this time to actually just shout out my team. Like I was in a position at the start of this year where I was transitioning to head coach, and I built myself a team in North America, and we're doing good things over there. And when I decided to look elsewhere, like these guys came along, and it's only really allowed me to like truly get the lessons that I've needed this year in terms of like what I can do better as a head coach. I think there's been a lot of things to do with how to prioritize, just different ways of I guess looking at the game, like away from like the analytical lens. And yeah, like I'm personally, I felt like I've done a lot of, steps forward this year. I know it's not really something that is always visible to the outside, but I'm proud of the progress I've made. I'm excited to continue growing, I certainly do not want to step back into a secondary role now that I've had this taste. I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more as well. It's just great having a lot of agency, and yes, just once again, like it's a privilege to have this team, because again, like without this team, I don't think I would be able to, have a lot of these steps forward that I could have otherwise.
Thank you so much, and we are hope to see you break your ceiling next year, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Ravish.
Thank you, guys. Everyone, my deepest commiserations on the loss. Extremely tough day. Just wanted to toss out a question to the team as well. Naturally, you guys have had a roller coaster of a year. Just wanted to get a gauge on if there is perhaps a bright spot or highlight that you can think back on. Naturally, it's quite hard to sit here today, that you can sit here today and think, that was quite nice. If possible. If not, no worries at all. Just a question for anybody else too.
Well, I obviously think winning Split 3 was a very special moment for two reasons. It was our first LAN together, winning with Eslan. It was also Eslan, Akita's first grand final. And, just making it here together, I think that was super special. We were definitely very excited, and we knew that it would be a tough competition. And I also have a lot of regrets for this year, but I'm happy how the year ended. We ended in Seoul, and it didn't end before. I just love my team very much. I think they're very special, all of them, and they're very good players, and a great coach, of course, and a great manager also. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Miguel, thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you. We'll go next to Sierra.
Hello, Sierra Zobi, freelance esport commentator for North America. Commiserations on the loss. I was also watching with the crowd. It was an insane series. You guys should be proud for how you played despite the loss. This question can go to Mimi or to Drew Spark, and I'm not sure if you can answer it yet as well. Obviously, with you winning Stage 3, like you mentioned that LAN, you also get an invite to Project Blender. So do you guys know if you're going to be playing in that yet, since it's quite a tight turnaround, I believe, from this tournament? And how does not knowing this is quote-unquote the end of your season, getting that opportunity to play with Tier 1 teams, help you frame the loss and maybe use this as motivation moving forward?
We're not going to play the tournament, and it's also just like it's so close to champs, and it's already been a lot back-to-back. Like, I don't think me and Drew has had one off day for the last 3 months. So yeah, we need to rest. But I do still think that it's a cool opportunity if we were to take it. I love these kind of tournaments. It's great to get those opportunities.
Thanks. I'm Zach from Hotspawn. Firstly, nice try to get today, guys. You played a really good game, and like Sierra said, you should be proud of yourselves and everything you've achieved this year. My question would be to anybody on this team who wants to answer it. Yes, it's been an extremely chaotic year with a lot of changes, a lot of transitions that you've had to go through and stuff. So if you could say that there's one thing that each of you have learned over this year that you'll be putting into action your next season, what would it be?
Well, I'm definitely not gonna change people's roles around anymore. I think that we learned a few things with it is not as simple as just changing things around. People are and players are who they are, and changing someone's identity in game it's not smart. It's not the way to go. I also think that experience is something that I learned is a very valuable thing, and it's not as simple as just putting a team together with a lot of firepower. There has to be like it's a unit that wins, right? And then I also learned that communication is probably the most important thing on a team. And that was the reason why we lost today, unfortunately.
Thank you. And we'll take the final question from Pedro Romero.
Hey guys, Pedro Romero, independent journalist. Likewise, commiserations on the unfortunate exit from this competition, but as everyone else in the media has been saying, should be proud, and hopefully you can use this for future improvement. That said, I want to ask this question over to Drew. Mimi mentioned about the momentum that MIBR had in the late stages of the series, specifically in map 3, and how it was difficult for you guys to kind of turn it around and try to come out of it on top. I want to know from your perspective, what was, like, in depth, if you can, what was the most difficult part of just having to go through that stretch and see MIBR make that comeback and then try as hard as you can to stop it, but ultimately not really succeeding in that sense. So what was the difficulty behind that from your point of view?
I mean, Valorant, more than ever, I would say, is a very momentum-based game. I think you've seen in multiple series where we've just taken it and taken the ball and ran with it, and the opposite has happened as well. And I mean, Bind for us was like basically MIBR split, right? Like the same thing can happen to us. So I think the difficulty was just being able to, I guess, just kind of cut through the noise a little bit and just kind of like see exactly what they were doing. MIBR have a lot of individual talent, and they weren't afraid to make plays. And I think especially when they were down, they started making their plays a bit more, and it kind of caught us off guard a little bit. For me, I felt like towards the start of that comeback, we were just perhaps like a little bit slow in our reactions, and it allowed them to set up those plays. But towards the late stage of game, like honestly, like I credit to them. They made a lot of like really good micro decisions, and they came out on top. And I just think for us, ultimately, like so many of these rounds just could have gone another way with just like a micro decision there or a gunfight there. Ultimately, I don't think we played badly at all. And there's obviously going to be a lot of things that we can look at and, shoulda, coulda, woulda done better. But I am proud of, I think we played on our terms throughout, especially on split. And that's never something I'm ever going to, complain about. So if we were to lose today, I'm glad that we did the way that we did.
G2, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this week. This will conclude the press conference. We hope to see you back here next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.